Hi, everyone. Welcome to Hallmark Movie Drafts, where our panel of 3 guest drafters are Hallmark movie enthusiasts and Deck the Hallmark podcast double-deckers, who all love to rate, rank, and debate all things Hallmark movies related. And today they'll be working with and against one another to create the definitive list of the 10 best Hallmark movies starring Taylor Cole. I'm Lynn, your host, and my co-host today is Catherine, because Erinbeth is actually going to be trying her hand for the very first time at drafting. Yay! Yay! So, Catherine, you are such an important part of the Hallmark Movies draft family. You've co-hosted a few times, drafted a few times as well, and behind the scenes, you often help to create the eligibility list or vet the list that I've created using your soon-to-be patented BACA eligibility screening tool, which I count on. We live and die by that. I'm excited to have you co-host today. Are you a Taylor Cole fan, for real?
I am a Taylor Cole fan. I think that Taylor is one of the most reliable Hallmark leading ladies. I know when you're about to sit down to watch a Taylor Cole movie, you know you're going to get a strong lead performance and you're going to get great chemistry with her leading man. And I think this might be a hot take off the bat, but there are only 2 movies that I think have no place on this list. I think an argument can be made for any other one of her movies. So it'll be interesting how this shakes out. I can't wait to see if one of those 2 gets played.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. Erinbeth, how are you doing today? How are you feeling? Are you nervous to be drafting for the first time? You sent me I'll just say a bunch of messages over the last couple of weeks about, oh my God, what am I doing? Why am I doing this?
You know what I'm most nervous about is the trivia, because you know how it is when you're the bully and then suddenly you get bullied. So much. And people may be rooting for them to be so hard I can't get them. So like I have this fear. I think that's where the nervousness comes from.
Jessica seems to love that idea.
Yeah. I think most of the drafters will get some joy out of it, honestly.
Yeah.
Sure. But I am looking forward to it.
All right. Well, let's get introducing our rest of our drafters. You already know that Erinbeth is on the panel. She and our 2 guest drafters have had several months, not several weeks, like last month's The Way Home show, to put together their top 10 list of Taylor Cole's Hallmark movies out of the 18 that she has made as of this recording. They've ranked them 10th best to their number 1 favorite. And now they're going to battle it out to get as many of their own picks as possible onto the final list, ideally in the position they have them ranked on their own list. So listeners, just so you know, the smack talk in the panel chat leading up to today has shifted back and forth between, oh, I love you guys so much, and I'm ready to fight. So who knows what's going to happen here, because I've given up trying to predict. Jessica's already clapping, and I'm trying to predict what y'all are.
I'm rubbing my hands maliciously.
So our second panelist is Meredith. Meredith, this is your first time drafting with us, and I'm super excited to have you here. You and Erinbeth actually met one another in person. Was it last year in Colorado?
Yeah, back in December.
Right. So are you competitive? I don't get that vibe from you in the double-decker group. But then again, Brand never struck me as competitive. And yet every time he plays here, he flips the table. So I'm really not sure what to expect from you.
I can be playfully competitive. It really depends. When I was a kid and I'd play Monopoly with my brother, he would always say, stop being nice. So I'm going to try and channel that energy. But I feel the same as Catherine. It's tough with these movies. There's a lot of good ones. So we'll see.
It sounds like you might actually be the very first drafter who might play with love. So I'm looking forward to
this will be a journey of self-discovery.
And for everyone who can't see this this recording, I will be posting a photo of Meredith's incredibly fabulous Zoom background, which relates to the movie. I'm not going to spoil it here, but as soon as she came on, we all literally died. It is fantastic. So look forward to that on IG. Okay. So our third and final panelist is someone who's making her second appearance here as a drafter. And she's a huge Taylor Cole fan. She has thoughts and opinions. It's Jessica. Yay.
Hello.
Jessica.
Hello.
Jessica, you went head to head with our pal Cece in the Luke McFarlane draft back in November of 2022, which was so much fun. And that was your first time. But on this panel, you are the only experienced drafter. Erinbeth has never drafted before. Meredith has never drafted before. Are you going to take it easy on them?
If they have the right opinions about things, sure.
And by that you mean
If they're wrong, they're going down.
if they're wrong, they're going down. All right, great. Well, let's get started going into gameplay mode. If this is your first time listening, you might want to pause here and listen to the Hallmark Movies Drafts intro show first. That's where I go over the rules in more depth. I talk about the format of the game, how vetoes work, all of that kind of stuff. Or you can keep listening, and I'm sure that you will pick it up quickly enough. Eligibility for this draft is super straightforward. The movies had to have premiered on Hallmark or Hallmark Movies and Mysteries channel and have to feature Taylor Cole. There are 18 movies eligible for this draft, as I said earlier, and you can see the eligibility list on the Hallmark Movies Draft Instagram. And yes, this list does include her 3 Ruby Herring mysteries. So let's talk drafting positions for this match. There are 3 of them, A, B, and C. I'm going to fly through these descriptions because the panelists are already familiar with them. Drafter C picks positions 10, 7, and 3 on the list and gets 1 veto card and 1 veto override card. Drafter B picks positions 9, 6, 4, and 2 on the list. Drafter B gets only 1 veto card because this position gets 4 picks instead of 3. So they'll have more chances to get their movies from their personal list onto the final list. And drafter A picks positions 8, 5, and the number 1 position on the list. Drafter A gets 1 veto card and 1 bonus veto. So not only does this position get the number 1 movie, they actually, in fact, get 2 vetoes that they can play. So how do we decide who gets to be drafter A, B, or C? That's where Catherine comes in. She's going to test your knowledge with a round of Taylor Cole related trivia questions. The first person to answer 1 question correctly gets to choose whether they want to be A, B, or C. The next person to answer a question correctly gets to choose from the 2 remaining. And the person who didn't answer anything right gets whatever is left over. So Catherine is going to remind you of the trivia rules and then do the trivia round. So Catherine, let's get to it.
All right, so there's 3 rules for trivia. The first rule is you cannot answer until I finish asking the question. No jumping in before I finish speaking. The second rule, as soon as I finish asking the question, just shout out your answer. I'll tell you if your answer is right or wrong. If you're wrong, you can't guess again until the other 2 drafters have made a guess. And the final rule, if I have to give you a hint or a clue, everything resets and anyone can answer. So if you had just guessed incorrectly before the clue, it's okay to guess again right away. All right, you guys ready? All right.
You look so serious. Oh my God.
All right, the first question is, what is the name of Dr. Harper Higgins' dog in The Art of Us?
Vincent.
Got it.
Wow.
Wow.
Jessica.
I just remember how super cliche it was. Like, of course it's Vincent Van Gogh.
Great, okay.
All right, so you get to think about which position you want as Erinbeth and Meredith continue.
All right, second question. In her 2020 DTH interview, what movie does Taylor Cole say is her most memorable?
Christmas in Homestead.
Nice guess. Anyone else? Meredith?
I'm gonna guess One Winter Weekend.
Nope. Okay. Do we want a hint here?
I'm-
Dan made a strong argument for this one in the last draft.
My Summer Prince.
That's it.
Oh,
So close.
All right.
all right. Erinbeth, you are second for choosing your drafting position. And Meredith, you will get whichever position they don't choose. So that was a great round. Thank you, Catherine. So Jessica, what are you thinking?
A, please.
Ooh, Jessica is going for drafter A, so she will get picks 8, 5, and 1, and she will have 2 vetoes, the normal veto and the bonus veto. Erinbeth, what position do you want?
Well, I wanted A.
What did you know?
Yes. I will take B, please. I had a plan B. I will take
I would take B. All right. Erinbeth is drafter B, so you will get you will have the opportunity for the most picks. You'll have 9, 6, 4, and 2, and you will have only 1 veto. And Meredith, that leaves you with drafter C. And you'll have you'll be kicking off the list with pick number 10, and then 7 and 3. You have 1 veto, and then you've got the veto override. Okay. So Jessica, you will always be first in the veto order as well. So even though just because you won the round, the little flip side of that is that you have to declare whether or not you want to veto a play first. Erinbeth, you're second in the veto order, and Meredith is third in it. So Jessica, whenever you are ready, just DM me in the chat.
Wait.
Oh, I'm
A-
sorry. I do this every single time, right? So
Oh my
Meredith,
God.
I
Here's my
just
look.
said, Meredith, you're going to kick off the list at number 10, but I'm looking at Jessica and she looks so sweet and innocent over there. I'm like, oh, maybe Jessica should kick off the list. So
We
Meredith,
both have bangs, so it happens.
I have bangs
Be
too.
confused for Meredith is a high compliment, man.
And I will be changing my hairstyle throughout the show.
Yes.
Wow. One
That
wig
is
for
Taylor's
every 10
primary
minutes.
co-star.
Yeah, I have a double ponytail going on here. So I'll, who knows? I may end up blonde at the end. Well, we will soon see. We will soon see.
Yeah, the call number 1 on the call sheet is Taylor. 2 is her hairstyle. 3 is the dude.
Okay, I have Meredith's offering for number 10. This is a movie from 2016. This movie was also eligible for our very first podcast show, the Andrew Walker draft, back in September 2022, but it didn't make it onto the top 10 list of Andrew's movies. That was drafted by Emily, aka Mrs. Walker, Daniel Thompson, aka Dan from Deck the Hallmark podcast, and Jillian, aka Lady Panda, as Dan called her. So let's see if it will make this list top 10. It co-stars Andrew Walker, who plays Clay Hart. It is 2016's Appetite for Love. Corporate executive Mina Jones is played by a blonde Taylor Cole, I believe. She's sent to her hometown to rebrand a restaurant as part of a strategic acquisition. She hasn't been back in years, and the owner is now her high school sweetheart, Clay. Marcus Rosner plays Reed, Mina's current boyfriend, and fan favorite, Antonio Caone, plays Lucian, I believe. And this was part of Hallmark Movies' countdown to Valentine's Day. So, why this movie at number 10, Meredith?
Well, this was the first one I watched in my research. I feel like it deserves a spot on the list for their chemistry. I mean, they're 2 great performers, obviously. I also like that it has just a little taste of an ensemble sort of movie. Antonio is very fun and sassy in this movie. I forgot he was in it. But overall, I felt that it was a little forgettable. And, it's an older Hallmark movie at this point, 2016. And also, because Taylor's hair is so important to these movies, I'm not a big fan of blonde Taylor. Her hair looked a little plastic. No offense. I do love you, Taylor. But I think it should be on the list, but it just kind of ekes in at the bottom.
Now you make a compelling argument. And I should note that one of the things that I dug up about this movie is that the blonde plastic-haired Taylor actually met her future husband on this movie. His name is Cameron Larson, and he was the executive in charge of production on this film. 4 years later, he and Taylor got married in 2020 during COVID, and his IMDb profile lists about 12 to 14 Hallmark movie credits where he's executive in charge of production with a few of as Taylor as co-star, including My Summer Prince. So there you go. All right. So Jessica, what do you think about Appetite for Love at number 10?
Of our 18 Taylor movies, Appetite for Love for me it was like number 16. So but I'm not going to veto it. I'm going to let it slide. It is very like, tropey old school Hallmark. And then the whole, like, it was a little over the top, the whole like powered executive, tiny town business. That was just a little too much. But I'm not gonna fight it. Yeah, like it's okay. It's on the list. I mean, who doesn't love that? We got AWOC and we have Antonio. So like for their sake, I'll keep it. But I mean, she's like, she and Andrew Walker, Tyler Hines, like those three are people who can just like make chemistry with anyone. So it's like, you can say like, oh, there's great chemistry. It's like, yeah, but it's Taylor Cole and Andrew Walker. So what are you going to expect? Right. So, yeah, it's fine. It's fine as 10.
It's fine. Tapping into her
Best.
inner Alonzo. It's fine.
Ever.
Erinbeth, is it fine with you at number 10?
I'm not going to waste my one veto on the number 10 pick, but it was also my 16. I don't think it's an original plot. I don't think it's an original script. I mean, honestly, I think Meredith gave plenty of reasons why it shouldn't even be on the list. But it's still here, and I guess I will settle for that to be number 10. I'm not going to veto it, but it's definitely low on my list. I mean, she did 3 movies in 2016. That's the one.
Taylor was busy. Well, you know what? You can kind of give these backhanded compliment shamey things about Meredith, but guess what? Meredith gets her pick on the list at number 10. So we lock in Appetite for Love at number 10. Erinbeth, you can send me over your pick at number 9. We'll see how Meredith treats you. And while Erinbeth is sending this over to me, Catherine, do you have thoughts on Appetite for Love at number 10?
I know it's like the most generic Hallmark storyline ever, but it's like Taylor's first showing, so it definitely belongs on the list. AWOC, of course. I also really like Marcus Rosner in this movie. He's played the Baxter about 500 times, and because he's good at it. Like, he's so good in this movie. I also I typed this up because it's so great. Like, there's so many Hallmark, like, that guy actors in this movie, like just people you see in a million Hallmark movies. So of course we talked about Antonio, we've got Fiona Vroom, we've got Michael Kopsa, we've got Benjamin Wilkinson, and even Cardi Wong shows up for a couple lines in this movie.
Cardi
So
Wong,
it's
yeah.
It's just prime Hallmark. I think it belongs on the list, so I'm glad it's squeaked in at number 10.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to do a Baxter draft at some point. I think that would be a lot of
Oh my gosh, that'd be so great.
That would be a lot of fun. Okay, well, Erinbeth wasted no time in sending me over her pick. She has chosen a movie from 2021, which co-stars Carlo Marx. Taylor plays Grace. It's Making Spirits Bright. Grace and Tony are from 2 separate families who are in the business of decorating homes for Christmas. Unfortunately, they have also been in a feud for as long as anyone can remember. But this holiday season, they must try to find a way to get everyone to work together in order to win a town competition that could save their livelihoods. So says IMDb or Hallmark movie channels in their description. Okay, Erinbeth, make your pitch.
I love the huge cast here, and there's so many storylines going on with the 2 families. Carlo Marx, I mean, I love him. He's great, and they looked good together. Taylor and Carlo, they did well together. It was just it was kind of like fun. And then come on, when they go and they sing the carols in Italian to get the families back together, I mean, the whole thing, I mean, it just warmed my heart, the whole movie. Very, very cute movie. I absolutely loved it.
Awesome. Jessica, you're first up in the veto order. Are you going to let this slide?
No, I'm going to veto it. And the reason I'm going to veto it is because I think it should be higher on the list. I love this movie. These families are wonderful. It only gets a little over the top with the few, but the feud's actually pretty believable. The children are wonderful. Like that I actually literally laughed actually out loud at the scene with the nephew who was like pretending to be his son, and he's just like, what do you mean, Dad? Like that scene cracked me up, and the little boy learning magic. It was just sweet and delightful, and there didn't need to be some big long explanation as to like where the heck the husbands of the, where the dads of these kids were. It was like, whatever. Like the sisters are sweet. I love the fact that they established that they were brother and sister without saying the words bro and sis. I have a big like pet peeve about that. And it's just like, she walks up and they have a little conversation, and then like they're probably siblings, and then she's like, you're older, you're the one that has to talk to him. It's like, like I just thought the writing in this was really clever, like high level writing for Hallmark. And I'm not generally a big fan of Karl Marx, and I really liked him in this. And so when like somebody I'm not wild about, I like, that tells me that it's a good movie.
Awesome. Meredith, I'm going to save your 2 cents for when Jessica plays it again, because she has declared that she's going to play it higher up on the list. Okay. So I'm going to move right to Erinbeth's replacement pick, which she has already sent over. And this is a movie from 2018. It co-stars Jack Turner as Ben. Taylor plays Kara. And it is One Winter Weekend. This is the first movie in the One Winter Weekend trilogy series. So a magazine writer, Kara, just got dumped on New Year's Eve and goes on a ski getaway with her best friend, Megan. They find themselves double booked in a chalet with 2 eligible men. When they are snowed in, love ensues, as it always does. I believe Taylor is blonde in this movie. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. And it's her... yeah, I think she's blonde. So,
blonde highlights in this one.
I think she's blonde, yeah. Erinbeth, why this one then for number 9?
Well, she is part of that trilogy, and I think that trilogy is a good trilogy. I mean, of the ones that Hallmark has done, it's probably my favorite. I absolutely love Rukia Bernard. I wish that Hallmark would use her more, although I think she's busy doing other things. Congratulations to her. I love the 2 couples, and there really was almost equal time. You knew who the lead couple was, like you knew who it was, but they really played a lot of time with the second couple and everything. It's just a good movie. I mean, it was fun to watch. It was enjoyable. It was a good movie. Not the best of the 3, but it was a good movie.
Yeah, Duchesne Williams is really good, and I wish he was in. I wish he was in more as well. Okay, so One Winter Weekend offered up at number 9. Jessica,
Erinbeth, you clever little monster, you. So obviously I'm not going to use my second veto on this, but I think you did the other one on purpose. Boo. I mean, okay. I mean, applause. That was clever, evil genius. And so way to go. You stole my veto. I'm going to let it slide, obviously. I really like this trilogy, and I 100% agree with Erinbeth that it isn't the best of the 3, but it's lovely. And maybe this is giving away too much information, whatever, but I think Jack Turner is her best, her highest level of chemistry. According to my little, like, I have a little like rating system that I developed with the McFarlane one list that I've been using for her. And yeah, I watch like really like pay attention to that. I guess we all do, but like her Jack Turner stuff is like, just, it's different. And maybe because they've done so many movies together, so they're like comfortable around each other. I don't know what, but like, and also like I have a crazy crush on him. So, yeah, we'll let this one. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine.
Okay, well, Jessica's not going to waste her second veto on this one. Meredith, what do you think about One Winter Weekend at number 9? Did you like this movie?
I think this is a fine spot for this. I agree. I like the 2 couples. Megan and Sean have great chemistry. I think that's awesome. And yes, it's good enough to be on the list. It's also not my favorite of the 3, but it's probably my second favorite. And I think it's a fair place for it to land.
All right. Well, congratulations, Erinbeth. You got your first pick out of the way after getting vetoed first. So One Winter Weekend is locked in at number 9. Jessica, you can send me your pick for number 8. Catherine, what are your thoughts on One Winter Weekend? Did you like this movie?
I love this movie. I think this is way too low on the list. I'll play my hand. This is my number 1 Taylor Cole movie. I've rewatched this one more than any of her other movies. Like what you were saying, I love that there's the 2 couples. They both get pretty equal screen time. I love the friendship between all of them. And, to piggyback more on the Jack Turner comment, it's like she has great chemistry with everyone, but the 2 of them take it to a next level. It's like an old Hollywood, like classic lead couple pairing between those 2. And this is their second movie together, but it shouldn't be this low. But oh well, I'm not drafting today, so.
No, I'm
At
not
least it's
drafting
on.
today either, and it's my number 8, so I don't mind it.
I love that. So
Let
well
it
said.
slide.
The old classic Hollywood. It is. They
It
are
is.
like,
It's a good call. Good call. Okay, I have Jessica's offering for number 8. This is a movie from 2020. It co-stars Ryan Pavey as Daniel, Taylor is Julia. This is another one where Antonio is featured. He is Matt. Julia Palmer, Taylor Cole, is a professional matchmaker who's trying to convince Daniel Pavey, the handsome newcomer in town, to sign up for a company's matchmaking services. Landing him as a client would help her chances for a job promotion at her firm. Daniel reluctantly agrees to be matched, and as they work together, Julia begins to develop feelings for him. But because he's a client, she has to stay professional and keep her feelings to herself while she helps him search for love. Taylor is a brunette in this movie, I believe. Jessica, tell us
yes,
about it.
Taylor's co-star is brown, straight, and shoulder length. And then Pavey is her dude.
Wait, did you just say that's her co-star is her hair?
Yeah, her hair is her co-star. That's like the stat. Her hair is always her co-star. So I have so this is it's a super like cheesy paint by numbers movie, but it works. I've actually watched it a couple times, like kind of not even realizing I put this on. I'm like, oh, do my Taylor homework. I turn it on. I was like, I have seen this movie before, and so obviously it's one of those, like, I don't know, memorable enough to enjoy, forgettable enough to, like, I didn't realize I've already seen it before until I turned it on. Pavey is such a serious dude, and he smiles a lot in this movie, and that's kind of charming, kind of weird, but also, okay. Like, she is a little, like, Taylor Cole is so, like, there's such a just like aura of elegance about her, right? She's just always super polished, but this, she's just like, there's like that extra, like, normally it's like polished but approachable. The other thing I love her parents in this. They're so sweet, and I love when they have like good families that are like realistic, and her parents are just lovely in this. And they use technology. They say the word algorithm like 75,000 times. So, good on you, Hallmark.
Yeah, maybe it won the best use of technology in the for a Decade Award back then. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so Jessica has offered up Matching Hearts at number 8. All you Pavey Pack fans, you can send your complaints to Jessica for the comment that, to see Ryan Pavey smiling is kind of creepy or weird. I didn't say that. She did. Erinbeth, what do you think about this movie at number 8?
Oh, you guys are killing me. I literally, the movie that I told you guys beforehand that I waited till the very last day to watch yesterday, that was this movie, because it's not the last on my list by far. Well, by 4. Not by 4.
By 4.
But it's pretty low. So good things about this movie. The parents, I did love the parents in this movie. And the misunderstanding was adult. He walked in, he saw his picture up there. She follows him out. He says, this isn't for me. There wasn't this big, like, I overheard you say something, or I saw it and I'm not talking to you. So it was, those were the 2 good things about this movie. I am not going to veto it because I have my veto saved for a specific reason. And I will let it go.
I'm gonna let it go. Meredith, what about you? What do you think about making Matching Hearts at number 8. You're gonna let it slide? Do you like this movie?
Yes, so I expect it to be exactly like Erinbeth. I was going to save it till the end, and I pre-hated it. Generally, Ryan Pavey is not my favorite. And so going into this movie with that mindset, I was very surprised that I actually enjoyed it. It has a little bit of an ensemble vibe, which is nice. And again, their chemistry was great. And yeah, Ryan Pavey was a little bit different than usual. So I think 8 is a good spot for it. Yeah.
I kind of view him the same way that you just explained, Meredith. And I had the same reaction to this movie. I was like, oh, Pavey, oh, hey, you know what? Wasn't bad. And I like his smile.
Can I say one thing real quick? The another thing that stood out to me with this movie, because especially as it's kind of older, is that there's a gay couple in it, or there's the beginnings of a gay couple in it. It's like her assistant and then like the employee of the restaurant. And it's very like quick little background scenes and quick little like, if you blink, you'll miss it. But it's like, oh, is your assistant coming today? Oh, he's not. And then like at the end where they do this little like camera pan to each of the couples, you see those two men like having this like conversation, smiling at each other. And I'm like, hey, y'all, I see you. So
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time anything like that happened on Hallmark. It was 2020,
Feels
right
that way to
after
me.
Bill Avery left.
Right.
I remember when this one premiered, and I was like, that's like the first time they'd ever hinted at anything like that. So I'm pretty sure this is the first one. I could be
It's
wrong.
hard to believe that it had to, take so long, first of all, that it didn't happen until 2020. And now it's a completely different vibe at Hallmark, finally, right? So good on them. And I hope it continues. All right. So Matching Hearts from Jessica is locked in at number 8. Meredith, you can send me your pick for number 7. I'll do a quick review here. So far, we have Appetite for Love at number 10. At number 9 is One Winter Weekend. We just locked in Matching Hearts at number 8. And
This is going to get a little bit spicy.
I think Meredith has come to play. Meredith has offered up a movie from 2018. A brunette Taylor plays Mandy. Jack Turner is in this movie. He plays Prince Colin. This movie was ranked 3rd best on the Royal Theme movie in our April Battle Royale draft. It was Dan's pick. Dan loves this movie. He wanted it, got vetoed at number 6. He played it at number 3 and locked it in onto the final list. It's My Summer Prince. Mandy Cooper is a young executive assistant aspiring to become a PR executive. She gets an opportunity to develop her skills in the small town of Greenbrier, Idaho. That's where Prince Colin of Edgemere, a handsome British monarch with a history of scandalous behavior, is arrested for defacing a landmark while making a public appearance. Things get complicated after Mandy sets out to repair his image, and the young publicist wonders if she can save her own reputation and still have a chance at summer love. Meredith, why do you like this movie at number 7?
I'll start with the good things. Jack Turner's great in this movie. He does play the kind of like very annoying, coy prince. He doesn't just immediately reform. He's very he's like a little boy. And it's very entertaining to watch. I also appreciate sort of the campiness of it. Like, why is this royal movie happening at a lodge in Idaho or Iowa or somewhere? And
the I-States,
they're all the same. And her like cheesy prom dress at the end that I had forgotten. I thought, oh, somebody transforms it and makes it look good, and that's when we see her. But no, she's just wearing that dress, and I love that they just stuck with that. It was like,
no
good,
Molly
good
Ringwald.
Hallmark. But I have, this from the chat, I have rage problems with bad British accents, and I'm not claiming that I could do one, but my brother-in-law is British. And so I feel like I can like make some claims about what a bad British accent is. And boy, the mom, bless you, woman, whoever you are, keep doing your thing, keep acting. But I had irrational anger. And the over-the-top boss, the lady from NCIS, just not my favorite vibe.
Oh, here we go again. The NCIS woman.
I just struggle with that.
Cannot have that
There
conversation
might be
again.
a small part of my brain that knows that Dan really likes this movie, and part of me was like, I can't like it then. So no offense, Dan. It's all in love. It's for fun, but those are my reasons.
Oh my gosh.
We did get a good 80s ballad, so that was nice, but it was a cover.
I think also, as I recall, he takes his shirt off a lot, which some people were thinking was a great, yes, Jessica's clapping. All right, so Meredith is offered up at number 7, My Summer Prince. Jessica, you're first up in the veto order. You have 1 veto left. What are you thinking about My Summer Prince at number 7?
Not going to veto. I do have it higher on my list, but I'm not going to veto it because, there's one movie that I'm holding on to. So, I agree with absolutely everything you've said. Like it's just that, like, I'm such a sucker for, like, her and Jack. Like, they're just like, can they make like 100 movies together? Because like, they just make me melt. That said, the funny thing is, we were talking about this in the chat a couple days ago about like the bad British accents. Keeping us PG. What's
so proud of you
is that one of the really bad British accents is his, and the man is British.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really bad accent. And I'm like, tippy tappy type, you got my phone, like, where is he from? Oh, he's from England. What? So like I went to listen to like a bunch of his Instagram reels, research only. I did come across the whole I'm doing push-ups thing, but here he talked a lot. And he talked, and I'm like, that's not the voice in this movie. Like, I'd be like, I guess the equivalent would be like me taking on a New Jersey accent or something like that, right? Like, I know England is full of a bunch of different accents, and whatever he took on sounded an awful lot like American pretending to be British.
It's like maybe he was directed to try to sound more British. And
right. And the mom was like, she was gorgeous, but totally discount Jane Seymour, right?
She's British too, though, right?
Yeah.
She's English, but I think she moved to New York when she was like a teenager. So I'm guessing that she's lived there ever since, and that's why. Because
and the fiance, like, her voice was like really, like, I couldn't even like hear what she was saying because her accent was like so distracting, and I had to look it up. She's Australian, so she's Australian doing a British accent. Okay. Also, like, just these movies with the tiny fake, or like European countries, like, I love how they just act like their royalty is so important. Like, absolute monarchy went away in Europe like centuries ago. It's like, we must, for the sake of the people. You're not actually running the country, you know this, right?
I just question a monarchy that feels that they need to go to Idaho. I mean, that
Totally.
No offense, Idaho. No offense, Idaho.
His way of being a big rebel was to like dance in a fountain in a village in Idaho. Like, New York City exists. LA exists. What are you doing?
He should have hopped a carousel horse, I think. Erinbeth, what are you going to do about this? We've got My Summer Prince at number 7. I'm flashing back to the Battle Royale, but go ahead, lay it on us.
I think it's a little low.
Ooh.
But I won't veto it, but I want to put everyone out of suspense. But I think it's a little low, but it needs to be on the list. I really like it. Everyone that listened to Battle Royale knows Marina Sirtis is in this, and for all the Star Trek fans out there, I mean, she was really good, and I liked it. Taylor Cole was good in this. I thought they had good chemistry. It gave me like fun feels for Royal. And then the scene with the little girl in the library where he's like, I teared up. It was the sweetest thing. So no, it deserves to be on the list. It is a little low, but
well, it is now locked in. Meredith's pick at number 7, My Summer Prince. So as Erinbeth sends me her pick for number 6, Catherine, what do you think about My Summer Prince?
I think it's totally standard Hallmark, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, it's an easy one to watch. Like, again, Taylor and Jack Turner together are great. So it's not, I do think this belongs on the list, especially since Taylor said it was her most memorable film to shoot. So I think that she even mentioned in the DTH interview that they film it in Utah, which borders Idaho. So maybe that's why they set it in Idaho. I don't know. But anyway, it's fine. It's a good movie for like standard Hallmark movies.
I have Meredith. I have Erinbeth's pick. Erinbeth, you are killing me here.
Oh, no.
I'm just going to read what I wrote. This is a movie from 2017. Steve Lund plays Tom. Taylor is Dr. Harper Higgins. It's The Art of Us. Okay, there's a lot going on in this one. But basically, Dr. Harper Higgins is an adjunct professor of art history at the Cambridge Institute of Fine Arts. And to make ends meet, she also teaches an adult painting class at the Arts Collective. But she's not too broke because she has a dog walker named Tom, played by Steve Lund. Harper's putting together an art exhibit at the Institute, and she's secured a famous artist to showcase his work, but he backs out, and Taylor convinces her dog walker, Tom, to replace him and showcase his own artwork, which she admires. He's a talented, untrained artist who paints only for himself as therapy. As the exhibition nears, Harper and Tom begin to fall in love with one another. There's a houseboat, there's a dog, there's some lying, and Van Gogh's name gets thrown around a lot. Erinbeth, The Art of Us.
So he isn't believable as a painter, but then again, neither is she. But in all reality, my word, that kiss in the middle of the movie, in the middle of the road, in the rain, I mean, at that point, it was like, oh, this is on the list. It has to be on the list. The puppy is adorable. And once again, I have this thing about the misunderstanding. I hate the stupid misunderstandings. Their misunderstanding wasn't really between them. It was about the lie they told to everybody else. And so, it was believable when they got to the end and they were together. I mean, it was a cute movie that was fun to watch. And can I say that kiss in the rain in the middle of the road? Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm surprised there was rain left. It should just dehydrated with the steam.
I get it. So Erinbeth loves this movie because Erinbeth wants to get wet when she gets kissed and possibly run over by a car. So that's my buddy Erinbeth. Jessica, I saw it. Don't you go there. Keep that hand over that mouth. I know what I said.
Lord's good.
Jessica,
Dad listens to
I'm
this.
turning red, Lynn. That was
Yeah, I can't send this to my parents now.
Fanning yourself.
who was fanning herself? What? Catherine was fanning herself. So what do you think of The Art of Us at number 6?
Not a fan, but I'm on to you, Erinbeth. I'm not gonna veto it. I had it as number 11. However, I think like looking back and like now, like I gotta like reevaluate some of the stuff on my list. What I did like about this movie is that their relationship started about, not even mid-movie, like 20 minutes in or something. Like it started pretty early, and it was pretty cute. Like the whole like when the whole thing, she's like, no more kissing. He's like into the dog, no more kissing. It was like that was cute. I don't like lie tropes. I hate the lie thing. That said, yeah, they were cute together and the story was, pretty cute. I'm also like, I get frustrated at the like whenever they do, the whole thing, whenever any movie's done about like a particular like profession or a particular like niche knowledge thing, like that they, go to the well of the most obvious. And it's like, really, Van Gogh, really? Like there are myriad other artists that you could, tap into. And so it's like, I mean, fine. Okay. It's Hallmark. Okay. But like,
No,
yeah.
you're gonna let it slide.
Yeah, I am. It's fine. And Steve Lund, like, homie's like the Baxter, like so much. It's like, hey, you should have a movie. You should have here. There's your thing, dude. And he did. He was great as a leading man in this. He was not so awesome as a leading man in other movies, but he's good as a leading man in this. He's cute.
Meredith, what did you think of this movie, especially at number 6?
Yeah, I agree with the placement. I had vague memories of it before I rewatched it, and I had remembered not liking it. And so I was surprised when I watched it again. I mean, I do hate the lie. It's heinous, and she really deserves to lose her job over something like that. But yeah, Steve Lund he's likable. I do wonder why he only paints like flowers. I'm like, what is it about the flowers? Maybe it was addressed. There's nothing wrong with that. I was just like, fine. And I guess
Georgia O'Keeffe flowers, just saying.
What was that?
Georgia O'Keeffe only took pictures of flowers, so
There you go. There's something there. And then the Van Gogh thing. Yeah, that seems like they would easily be caught, but I guess the writers just thought, okay, Steve Lund, he could look vaguely Scandinavian, and so maybe that's why. Let's just go with Van Gogh. He was Danish, right? Okay.
I think he was Dutch.
Dutch. Yes, you're right. Close enough.
Okay, so vaguely Scandinavian Steve Lund and Taylor Cole in The Art of Us is locked in at number 6. Okay, so as I wait for Jessica to send me her number 5 pick, let me do a quick recap of the movies so far. We have at number 10, Appetite for Love. At 9, One Winter Weekend. At 8, Matching Hearts. At 7, My Summer Prince. At number 6, Erinbeth gave us The Art of Us. I'm going to say that very clearly. And at number 5, Jessica has offered up a movie from 2021. It stars William Levy as Tony. Taylor is Sarah. And it goes like this. Sarah and Tony were a couple in their youth and had plans to open a restaurant together. Oh, I should tell you, it's South Beach Love, in case you didn't get it from the first 5 words. Planned to open a restaurant together, but Tony left Sarah in order to train as a chef in Paris. 10 years later, Sarah has her own restaurant in the Little Cuba neighborhood of Miami, her hometown. Tony owns a Michelin star restaurant in New York City. Their nieces, Giselle and Lola, are having their, oh, really? You're going to make it? Yes, go ahead. What?
Quinceañera.
Quinceañera. Tony's sisters have a daughter each, and one of the sisters is also married to Sarah's brother. You can diagram that. Tony is talked into cooking for Giselle's, Jessica?
Quinceañera.
Quinceañera, and Sarah into cooking for Lola's. Suddenly, they must confront one another after all these years, and at the same time, try to handle 2 competing
Quinceañeras.
Quinceañeras as Tony's sisters do not get along. All right, so why this movie at number 5, Jessica?
Well, first of all, I love the whole, Hallmark breaking away from, whiteness. Although something kind of gets a little under my skin, quinceañeras are typically Mexican. I mean, I know other parts of the Latin American world do have them, but the origin, it has Aztec origins, which is why it's originally Mexican. It's spread to the rest of Latin America for other, just because of time and history and so forth. But it's I like that element of it. The leading man, he's super charming, and that's sweet. And I like that they have very like grown-up conversations about sorting through why they made the choices they made when they were younger, why he made the choices made when he was younger. I appreciate that. Yeah, her little braids, oh my gosh, so cute. And like again with the families, like I love that, like the families, they're nice and they connect to each other, and I love like the girls decide to overcome the rivalry, and I think that's really sweet. I love that. I don't know if it's a trope or not, but I love that then when there's a family rivalry and then like somebody unexpected in the family is the one that like ends up making it end, I think that's sweet. Yeah, my one and only like complaint about it, my main complaint about this, I mean there were plenty, but like my main one is it's a pet peeve I have with like all of filmmaking, which is with like when people speak to each other in English with a super thick accent of some other language, right? And I'm like, clearly you would be able to express yourselves better if you just spoke in your native language. So just speak Spanish to each other. So there's like, I am worried about that. Yeah, I am too. Like, just speak. Because in reality, they would speak Spanish to each other, right? And I got this from my dad. My dad, who was from Spain, he would do the same thing. He's like, why don't they just speak their native language? Like, I know, but I know it's because Americans don't want to read subtitles, and that's why they do it. But still, like, come on,
Yeah, but I think they need to be moving more toward that with intention, because it's very easy to read subtitles. What makes me crazy is when someone is texting and they show the text and it's
Oh
like,
my
I
gosh.
can't read what just
And
happened
like,
there.
It's fast, and then it'll be like white, and it'll be on
Yeah.
like a white background. Like, what did I
Yeah.
just? I don't.
Yeah. So I get you. I feel you, boo. I feel you. So okay. So Jessica has offered up South Beach Love at number 5. Erinbeth, you still have a veto. What do you think of this movie at number 5?
Well, it was my number 6, so I am okay with it at number 5. I thought William Levy and Taylor were really cute. William is my fake Harry Connick Jr. because I really do think that he resembled him so much that it was almost like I kept watching it. Every time he'd come on the screen, I'd be like, wow, you look like Harry Connick Jr. It was cute. The location was beautiful.
Did you want it to rain?
I wanted it to rain so bad.
I thought so.
It was just, and once again, like Making Spirits Bright, you have the families that are, not getting along. I thought that the misunderstanding between the mom's sisters, however we want to talk, was the stupidest misunderstanding ever, to get in a big fight with someone you've been friends with for years.
I completely agree.
But it was needed to move the story along, I guess. So cute movie. I mean, it is good on the list.
It's good on the list. All right. Well, let's see what Meredith has to say, because Meredith still has a veto that she could play. She has a veto override that she's like keeping in her pocket. What do you think of South Beach Love at number 5, Meredith?
I'm torn because I have this higher up. But really for just the shallow reasons of William Levy being like, in my notes, all caps, the attractive lead male. That's it. Because he is. There's some dancing in this movie it's high on the spice factor. I mean, it's I think it could have used more food, because you can always use more food in a movie like this. But I kind of want this to be higher. And I think that my top 4 choices are probably safe. So I'm going to timidly override this one. Not override, sorry, veto this one.
You're going to veto? Way to go. Way to go, Meredith. Way to go. I am in complete agreement with you, tipping my hand greatly. So Meredith has played her only veto because she has a veto override. So she can't use an override unless she's canceling out someone else's veto, or unless, like Bran, decides to cancel out the veto that she just played against herself, which it doesn't sound like she's going to do. So, Jessica, please go ahead and send a replacement for South Beach Love. And as Jessica's thinking, Catherine, what are your thoughts about South Beach Love or The Art of Us? I'm not even sure that I asked you about The Art of Us, did I?
No, I'll say Art of Us. Steve London, that movie, A+, no notes. That guy won me over. And
No notes.
I agree with Erinbeth's take about the kiss in the rain. For Making Spirits Bright, again, super hot guy in this movie. William Levy is a bit of all right. And I think something about this one, like I haven't run the numbers or anything, but there are not a lot of Hallmark movies that take place in Florida. I think this is the first one I can even think of. And you take this old trope and move it to a new setting and new characters, and it makes it seem a little bit fresher than usual. So I do like this one. I'm glad to hear it's going to come up a little bit higher, but we'll see how the game plays out.
Okay, well, I have just gotten Jessica's replacement for number 5. She has offered up a movie from 2016. It stars Michael Rady, who plays Matt. Taylor plays Jessica McKellis. This is the movie that Ryan Papalo, a new double-decker and the co-host of the Ride Hallmark movie reviews with Bran and Dan. This is the movie that Ryan was rooting for, wanted to make it number 1. It makes the list possibly, but Jessica has offered it up at number 5. And it goes like this. One of the most famous actresses in the world, Jessica McKellis, heads to the Christmas-obsessed town of Homestead, Iowa, to shoot a holiday-themed movie. She's thrown for a loop when a romance brews between her and local innkeeper and single dad, Matt. As she gets a taste of small-town life, she discovers the true meaning of Christmas. Jessica, why this at number 5?
It's so cute. It's just, I mean, first of all, it's just like Michael Rady. I mean, gosh, yum. And the little girl is such a little sweetheart. She's not overly saccharine. She's a cutie. And then like I'm a total sucker for redemptions. And when like her super jerk, like co-star wanting to be her boyfriend again guy, like he comes around and like redeems himself, like that just like warms my heart. Like it's just a sweet story. It just kind of has all the like, for me, it's all the things that like make my heart happy in a movie, you know? And like Michael Rady, he's just like, everybody's like, oh, you know, like my friend's dad that I have a crush on. Like he's just so like lovely and sweet. Look at you covering your face. But anyway, it's lovely. It's a lovely, sweet movie. And like the whole like her hair thing, right? It's like the super like straight, blunt cut when she arrives. And then like as time goes on, it starts getting wavy. Taylor just like tells a story with her hair, which kind of cracks me up. So
It's her co-star, as one of you said. It's her co-star.
Yeah, that's
Michael Rady, DILF manner, I'm sure.
for real.
For real. Okay, so Jessica has offered up Christmas in Homestead at number 5 as her replacement. Erinbeth, you have one veto. Is this going to draw your veto out?
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. There
That's
is
right.
no way Christmas
Yes.
at Homestead
Yes.
is sitting at 5 on this list. What the heck, Jessica? This is like, choose me. He wants him to her and says, choose me. And then she goes and gives the monologue about staying and changes the whole end of the movie, and tears and tissues and the little girl and Nelson, the bodyguard. I mean, come on. This does not sit at number 5. No, absolutely not. Nope.
All right.
But-
So,
Well played. Congratulations, Jessica. I believe you might be the first person to get vetoed twice in a row, but I would need to.
Oh no,
need to-
Brian Harold, come on.
and Dan
Oh,
got
was it
vetoed.
Brian? That's right. Oh,
I'm
that's
saying
right.
Dan got vetoed twice in a row.
That's
And
right. How could I? Oh my God, Brian Harold, number 4. How could I forget that? Well, you're sitting in good company with Brian Harold. So when Jessica sends over her replacement pick attempt number 3, we'll wait to talk about this since you're going to play it higher up on the list. Catherine, were there any trivia questions you didn't get to use while she's thinking?
I have here's one it comes up in a couple movies, so it might be an easy one. What fruit is Kara's wine charm in the One Winter Movie?
pineapple.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
And this is what I want to know. Did they know? I mean, 2 couples staying together in a chalet and they put a pineapple on her wine glass.
just for those of you who can't see the recording, Meredith did say pineapple. She had her mouth open. I saw the P words, but Erinbeth jumped right
You
in.
guys
there.
watch Psych?
Yeah.
I love Psych.
So like
Huge
that's like
Psych fan.
one of the fun things with my children and me was always to like
Find the
watch
pineapple.
like, Whenever pineapple came up, we all
The
just
pineapple. Exactly. All
I
right.
don't mind that Erinbeth answered first because you did the right thing by vetoing Christmas and Homestead. I knew I could depend on you.
Oh, look at
Soul
that.
sisters.
Teamwork behind the scenes. All right. I have Jess's replacement for Christmas and Homestead, which replaced South Beach. So here comes her third try to get
I chose Easter candy.
something locked in at number 5. It is a movie from 2021. Carlo Marx plays Tony, Taylor plays Grace. It's a replay of Making Spirits Bright, which Erinbeth tried at number 9. Okay, Jessica, let's hear it.
I mean, I had this higher, but like I've got to put it in here because I'm starting to get a little panicky that like it won't get on the list because, you know, apparently my co-list makers are evil geniuses. So I'm putting it here. I just really want this on the list. At least it's in, the top 5. And yeah, it's a sweet movie. It's sweet. And yeah, the Italian Christmas caroling, the fact that like everybody but the 2 dads like is doing what they can to like still connect to each other. I love the whole like secret thing. The moms have been secretly friends all these years, and how like they all realized that the 2 boys would like be great as friends together. Like it's a sweet movie. I will absolutely watch it. It's going to be it's going to, be on my annual list. It's just so sweet.
Good call. So Erinbeth, you don't have any vetoes, but you might still have an opinion if there was anything that you wanted to add that you didn't say when you played this at number 9 and it got vetoed. You happy that it's a little bit higher up on the list?
I'm happy with it as long as it makes the list. I think it's a cute movie. It deserves to be on the list.
Okay. So Meredith, you don't have a veto. So this is definitely locked in at number 5. But what are your thoughts on this? Because you actually didn't get a chance to weigh in when it was played and vetoed at 9. What do you think of Making Spirits Bright?
Yeah, I think I'm feeling a little bit like Panda right now, where I'm changing my opinion when I hear everybody else's convincing arguments, because it was not on the list at all for me. But it is very cute. Like they fall in love. It's very charming. They're always buying each other hot chocolate, and Carlo's very nice in this. And the kiss at the end is cute when she asks if they're even, and he says almost, and that's just very sweet. So yes, I think this is a worthy spot for this movie.
I rewound and watched that several times over. The whole like, are we square? Maybe like the whole that interact. Oh gosh, it was so adorable.
And this movie takes place in Richmond, where I live, and I don't remember any other movie where they mention so many parts of town, of the town that they're in, and they mentioned like 5, including like where I live. So that was very surreal.
I love Richmond. There's some great spots. If I'm thinking of it correctly, is there the Old Town part of Richmond near like VCU, like that area?
Yeah, it's all kind of sprinkled throughout. There's a lot of the old.
There's like a fan district with these beautiful Victorian houses and some really great restaurants. Yeah.
Everyone come visit.
Everyone definitely come visit. Okay, Erinbeth, you are up for number 4. In fact, my favorite hotel in Richmond, they're not a sponsor, is the Jefferson Hotel.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that? They used to have like this beautiful old historic hotel, and they used to, rumor has it they used to have like alligators in the little marble fountain inside the hotel. It's super cool. Huge. I love Virginia. Huge Virginia fan. Okay.
Lynn, do you mind going over the list one more time real quick?
Yes. I mean, no, I don't mind. And yes, I will. So at number 10, we have Appetite for Love. At number 9, One Winter Weekend. At number 8, Matching Hearts. At number 7, My Summer Prince. At number 6, The Art of Us. At number 5, Making Spirits Bright. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So the only person that has a veto left to play, to actually veto a play, is Jessica. And Meredith has a veto override. So at number 4, Erinbeth is offering up a movie from 2021. It co-stars Jack Turner as Ben, Taylor is Kara, Rukia Bernard is Megan. Duchesne Williams plays Sean. This is the third film in the One Winter trilogy series that features Ben, Kara, Sean, and Megan. It's One Perfect Wedding, aka One Winter Wedding. Name change. Thank you, Hallmark. And so in this one, Ben is now a Seattle-based CEO of Charmed, a successful snowboarding equipment manufacturer. Kara is a successful mystery novelist. Together, they're planning on a Rome destination wedding, but the universe has other plans and keeps derailing them. So naturally, they decide at the last minute to hold a wedding in 10 days, where it all began, at the ski resort where they first met, fell in love, and got engaged. And also, Sean is planning on proposing to Megan with Ben's help. So, why this movie at number 4?
Yeah, I really liked this one. I always have to set aside the fact that he was buying an entire ski resort without telling his very soon to be wife. That is the most ridiculous thing. And I know because of COVID, Sean was on iPad like 100% of the time. But it really was just, it was cute. I cried at the end, and she had to wear her mother's dress, which saw that coming, but it still was so lovely when she walks in and they finally get the chalet to themselves. And after all this time, it was nice it just kind of like brought it to a nice close. It just, you watched them get together, you watched them get engaged, now you watched them get married, and it just had all the fun iggly quigglies you could get. So I really liked it.
Good movie. So Meredith, you can't veto it, but do you have thoughts? Do you have opinions on this one at number 4?
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't think this movie should be on the list at all. I much preferred second. What is it? One Winter Proposal.
Yeah.
It was a crime that Sean wasn't in the movie. I know they had good reasons, but I was like, oh, he's gonna show up at the end. And then he didn't. And that made Meredith sad. Yeah, I just feel like this movie is kind of all over the place. He's trying to buy a ski resort the week of his wedding. There's the random lady. Now I can't even remember what her role was. Does she own the place? She
owned a small percentage of it.
Yeah, that's right. The mystery about figuring out if the original owners actually stayed together was nice, but just not a big fan. Sorry, Erinbeth, I still like you.
Jessica, Meredith doesn't think this should be on the list at all, and you are the only one that has a veto left to play. What you gonna do?
Power of the bangs, Meredith. I veto this.
Yeah,
Just a kind of lame movie. I love anything with her and Jack Turner, but this is probably like number 4 of the 4 movies of her and Jack Turner that I would list.
And Erinbeth could say, that's okay. I can play it again.
I was just trying to make you use your vetoes. Okay, and like Mr. Brandon. I'm gonna start calling you Senor Brand.
So Jessica has used her vetoes. There are no more vetoes left, which in effect means that Meredith, you can't use your veto override because there aren't any vetoes to override. So whatever Erinbeth plays next for her replacement stays on the list. She just can't
Oh, help me, woman.
One Perfect Winter Wedding, the mashup. So yeah, it was originally called, I had some notes here. Where did I have it? I think the original title changed from, they were supposed to be part of the Winter Fest lineup. So they wanted like the winter background, but with COVID and delays and everything else, script changes, it delayed the shooting. So they went with, they changed it from the original One Winter Wedding to One Perfect Wedding. And as it turned out, there was a lot of snow in Vancouver, which gave them a winter look anyway. So they really didn't need to change the title, but there you have it. Okay, so Erinbeth has sent me her replacement pick for One Perfect Wedding, and she has offered up instead One Winter Proposal.
Ah, come on.
I wish Jessica were more passionate.
Tell me what you really think, Jessica.
Why you
She's
gotta
having an
hate
aneurysm over here. She's like, there's too many of these. So this is on the list at number 4, One Winter Proposal. It's 2019. It's the second in the trilogy. This is the one where they're reunited. Their flames are burning brighter than ever. All 4 of them are back at the ski resort where it all began. They invite their friend Megan, hoping she'll reconnect with Ben's friend Sean, who's now the resort's doctor. And during the trip, Kara finds a jewelry receipt leading her to expect a proposal from Ben, but a misunderstanding may ice his plans. So this movie has a line that Ben says that is always just stuck in my head. He says, "If it's in your heart, no one can touch it." What? I'm sorry, what? If it's in your heart, no one can touch it. Okay, thanks.
It's like,
With that a surgical procedure anyway.
Unless they're a
Exactly.
cardiologist.
All right, Erinbeth, One Winter Proposal. Why did you play this at number 4, which is where it's going to stay?
This is my favorite of the 3. It actually is my favorite of hers with him. I really like this one. The proposal was just so cute and so much better than the proposal in One Perfect Wedding. I mean, it just was everything I would want a proposal to be, and they were so cute together, going back and forth. And I saw that it was the wife of the snowboard guy from like 100 feet away, but it still was a cute side storyline with her and helping them through their troubles. So I like it. And honestly, my other ones are used. So I only have one more left. And so this would be the next highest on the list, apart from the one that I have.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Jessica, what are your thoughts on this? It's in the list. We have heard you screaming in the background.
Erinbeth, a hex upon your house. This is my number 1. Because it's everything you said. It's so sweet and so gorgeous and so like Jack Turner at his cutest, Taylor at her cutest, and the whole like she thinks it's gonna happen, but he finds out another way, and the B story is adorable. It's just it's all the things like the reason why we watch Hallmark movies. You're like, it's good for number 4. It's number 1.
Meredith, Jessica says this should be number 1. What do you think about One Winter Proposal at number 4?
It's also my number 4. I think it's great. Sorry, Jessica. Yeah, I like I forgot about the wife storyline, the wife of the investor guy, who, by the way, he's an adorable man. What a great face. But so it's nice when he sees his wife snowboarding, and it's very wholesome and cute. And so, yes, I like this movie. Also, Sean and Megan, they make eyes at each other, and Sean has some serious sparkle eyes. I love them. So I'm good with this being number 4.
So much for Bang Powder let you down, Jessica. Sorry.
One of the funniest scenes ever is when he's waving at her and she's like way on the top of the mountain, the husband, and he's standing at the window waving.
Yeah, how does he know who that is?
They were just
That's
such
my
a cute
blob.
little couple.
Oh, magic.
They were so cute.
You guys were ready for like the top 3 to finish off the list. So Meredith, while you're sending me your pick for number 3, Catherine, what do you think about One Winter Proposal at number 4?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's on the list. It's my number 2. My number 1's One Winter Weekend. My number 2 is One Winter Proposal. It's like, it's one of the few times that Hallmark got a sequel right. And like my thoughts about the third one is that COVID ruined it. It should have been a winter movie. Deshaun Williams should have been there in person. Like, It's also turned into a party planning movie because Berkia Bernard's character is just planning the wedding the whole time. So while it's nice to see those characters again and like wrap up the wedding storyline, the third one was a letdown. So the second one's great. They kept it going. And, you know, we've had a lot of love for Taylor Cole's hair on this episode, which is, you know, deservedly so. She also always wears a really beautiful dress, except for the My Summer Prince dress, but that was for comedic effect. The dress that she's wearing when they get engaged is beautiful and she looks great in it. So
She does. She's a talented actress. She's a former model. She's a great athlete. She's great in golf. So, you know, she's a good human. So it's great. We love Taylor. I do have Meredith's pick for number 3. It is a title that has been played before. It's a movie from 2021. It co-stars William Levy as Tony. Taylor is Sarah. It's South Beach Love. I'm not even going to attempt it. Go ahead and talk about it, Meredith. Why this movie at number 3?
This is one of those movies that at the in the last 10 minutes before we recorded, I was like, I have to go by how I feel. Because I know plot-wise, there's not tons happening. The family feud is nice. But yeah, William is a blessed and highly favored with looks. And he's got a great deep voice. He's a good dancer. The scene where they're dancing together is wonderful. Also the scene where he teaches like the niece and her friends, that was very sweet. I liked that. I like that they're championing the nieces. We love a good aunt and uncle. So I also like the South Florida setting is always very nice. But yeah, he's a beautiful man. And I appreciate that in my life. So this is number 3 for me.
We have happy hearts. We have happy hearts. It is number 3. It's locked in at the list. But Jessica, what do you think of this movie for number 3?
South Beach, we're at the South Beach one, right? Yeah.
South Beach
I
Love
think
at
this is
number
a good
3.
place for it. It's
Good place for it.
amazing, like it's diverse and yeah, we've heard.
You're happy.
So
Good.
sorry.
Erinbeth, do you have thoughts about South Beach Love at number 3?
I think that fake Harry Connick Jr. deserves a spot on this list. So I am good
Only
with
thing
South
that would
Beach
make it
Love.
better
I
is
do
if he sang.
think this is a little high for South Beach Love, but I also completely understand where Meredith is at because yeah, there's not much left that's at the higher 1, 2, 3 calibers. So South Beach Love is good with me. Not that I have a veto to do anything about it.
So Erinbeth, why don't you go ahead and send me your number 2? Catherine, what do you think of South Beach Love at number 3?
yeah, I love this one. I think we talked about it. The William Levy is unbelievably good looking, so it's nice to have him on this list. And I wish he would do another Hallmark movie one of these days.
So I have Erinbeth's pick for number 2. I'm going to do a quick recap. At number 10, we have Appetite for Love. At 9, One Winter Weekend. At 8, Matching Hearts. At 7, My Summer Prince. At 6, The Art of Us. At 5, Making Spirits Bright. At 4, One Winter Proposal. At 3, we just locked in South Beach Love. The number 2 movie, this will be it because everyone is out of vetoes. It's a title that's been played before from 2016 with our guy, Michael Rady. He plays Matt. Taylor plays Jessica McKellis. It's Christmas in Homestead. Yay. So Erinbeth, why this one at number 2?
Oh, this one should be number 1. I mean, when Ryan was sitting there saying Christmas at Homestead number 1, I'm like, you're right. Yep, Christmas at Homestead should be number 1. But I don't have number 1. And because Jessica played it, that's the whole reason.
Why didn't you trust me?
Because Jessica played it, because you played it like at number 5. How in the world? Because I trust you to put it at number 1. It deserves number 1. I went on about it, and it is just so great. And you know, there's just so many parts to it that were just so fantastic, and I love it, and it's great, and it should be number 1, but I have to guarantee it's on the list. So definitely Christmas and Homestead.
This speaks volumes. Erinbeth and Jessica are really good friends, and it's really a shame that she has to publicly announce that she doesn't trust Jessica as far as she can throw her. Wow. Shocking. Shocking.
Love you.
Okay. Jessica, no any vetoes, but what are your
I
thoughts
mean,
on
I
Homestead?
totally would have put it as number one, but like now we're gonna have some sort of crappy movie at number one because Erinbeth didn't trust me. You broke my heart, Fredo. To quote The Godfather.
To quote The Godfather. It's at number 2. Meredith, what do you think about this for number 2? Was this your number 1? Would you have liked to have seen it as number 1?
This was my number one. I mean, one could argue between my top 2. I could switch them, but this is number 1. Michael Rady gives off these great wholesome dad vibes, and that scene where he's overhearing Taylor talk to the daughter and he's legit crying. I just want to give that man a hug. He's a little cinnamon bun. He's so cute. Yeah, this movie is very nice. And I agree with the redemption of the Baxter. That was, he turned into an okay guy. So smart move, Erinbeth. Good job.
Sorry,
have to
Jessica. I trust you with my life, but not with my picks.
But not with her Christmas and Homestead.
but not with Christmas and Homestead.
I'm sorry if I sound a little distracted, but now I can't get the image of Michael Rady as a cinnamon bun out of my head. It's doing things to me. Number 1. Okay, so Jessica, as you send me your pick for number 1, which will land at number 1. Catherine, what do you think about Christmas and Homestead, cinnamon buns, Michael Rady? What are your thoughts?
First of all, I love cinnamon buns. That's, those are good.
Those are good.
Michael Rady, also a fan. Yes. Christmas and Homestead that's my number 3. So the winter movies, I couldn't put anything above them because I've rewatched those the most. Those are my favorite Taylor Cole movies, the first 2, not the third one. But Christmas and Homestead's my number 3. It's her first Christmas movie with Hallmark. It's one of those solid, like, rewatchable Christmas Hallmark movies. It's so good. And I mean, the chemistry, like, Taylor Cole has great chemistry with all of her leading men, but the 2 of them in this movie, like that scene when they're out on the balcony and it's like snowing, it's good. So I understand the gameplay, Erinbeth. I wouldn't have been surprised if this made it at number 1, but we'll see.
It would have.
Maybe some heinies will be
just
real happy with the end of this game. I don't know what Jessica's gonna do, but
It just scared me so much because she played it so low. When it's played so low, you're kind of like, did she really feel like that's where it went? Or was she playing the game to get me to use my veto? So
That's cool.
This may be your Brian Harold legacy moment, playing Christmas and Homestead at number 2 instead of number 1.
my name doesn't go on number 1.
Touche. I know. Oh, I'm dying to ask this before I tell you which movie Jessica has offered up. What do you think she's chosen for number 1, Erinbeth?
One Perfect Wedding or Ruby Herring's Prediction.
Wow.
Although
Okay.
I can tell you what I would have picked because I had my next pick. I was Long Last Christmas. That was going to be my pick if Meredith did Christmas for Homestead at 3 because I couldn't have said anything. So
Meredith, what do you think Jessica is offering up for number 1?
Wow. If it isn't falling for you, then I don't know.
I don't want to be a
I'm
part of
gonna
this
be a little
panel.
bit shocked, and Jessica, I will still be your friend, but I'll just be a little hurt for a little bit, a little concerned. So
I love you. Well, I have some good news for one of you and some bad news for the other. So Jessica has offered up a movie from 2018. Congratulations, Meredith. You guys can still be friends. This is a heartwarming moment. It
Good job.
stars Tyler Hines as Zach, Taylor as Lacey. It's Falling for You. This movie actually made history in Hallmark movie drafts. It was ranked 8th in our March show, the Tyler Hines Top 10 movie list. It's the first movie that ever that ended up in the same position on the final list that all 3 panelists had on their list, their personal top 10 as well. And that was Tracy, Jen, and Brandon, who drafted that. So Falling for You, this aired as part of Hallmark's Fall Harvest lineup. Radio host Lacey, played by Taylor Cole, is hosting a bachelor bake-off to raise money to save her radio station. When her star bachelor backs out, she enlists Zach, Tyler Hines, a visiting businessman, to fill the spot. So, Jessica, why this at number 1? This is where it stays.
Okay.
Tell us about Falling for You.
So it was number 4, but Erinbeth. So it's super cute. I mean, come on. I'm telling you, Tyler Hines could you could give him a cereal box ingredients list and be like, make a movie out of this, and he'll do it. And so so there's that. When Tyler Hines is in it, it's gonna be an awesome kiss at the end, right? But also it's sweet, it's cute, it's it's kind of all the things that you come to watch Hallmark movies for, right? It wouldn't be my number 1, but here we are. So I'm not mad at it. It's fine as number 1. And yeah, it's the typical, big boss man Jeffrey's from out of town and thrown into this situation and that no one would ever do ever. And here we are. Da, 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 da. My favorite line in the whole movie, he says to her, "Did you just pull a bait and switch on me?"
Bake and switch?
Bake and switch. I'm like, oh, that's right. So, honestly, that line in and of itself probably had it higher on my list than it would have been otherwise, because that was funny. So there I am.
There you are. Erinbeth, Falling for You is number 1. What do you think of that selection?
Yeah, what do you think of that, my friend?
It is on my list at the other end.
Right.
Number 9.
That's on you, dear.
It was on my list. I wrote a nice little thing about the misunderstanding at least being understandable, because he had to leave. Clean shaven Tyler weirds me out.
For sure. I agree. But there we are.
If he'd had a beard and he was wearing that business suit, I may have ranked that higher.
Yeah, me too. But there we are.
Because Tyler in a business suit. I mean, obviously there's nothing I can do about it. Homestead and Christmas Christmas and Homestead should have been number 1. We all know that. I'm sorry. I didn't trust you. But it's okay.
Erinbeth, there are 8 billion people on the planet, and you were literally one of my top 10 favorite of the 8 billion people on the planet. But I just want to say, you put us here.
I'm sorry.
Start that
now,
apology.
I'm gonna be afraid to go to sleep at Bramblefest now.
Too funny.
All out Ruby Herring. Don't accept any drinks I hand you at Bramblefest. Just saying.
Meredith, what do you think about Falling for You landing at number 1?
Yeah, I'm good with this. It was my number 2. Because the thing is, Tyler shows some good versatility. Like in his most recent one with the fish, where he was I felt like I was watching Tyler Hines, and that was great because he's very cool and smooth. And so it was neat to actually see him do a good job of being this sort of kind of buttoned up business guy who's worried about his budgeting system. And I liked,
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And I liked the warring brothers and just the banter we heard between them. And I do get annoyed at the heavily color corrected autumn. I wish they could film some of these in autumn, but it was nice.
That is great. I'm going to read the list once again now, and I'll read it again towards the end because we're going to still go over some other stuff. I want to hear what each of your personal top 10s were after Catherine and I compare notes on our little host side hustle, which I don't think I even mentioned at the beginning of the show. I always skip over that for some reason, but Catherine and I had put together our own personal top 10 lists, and our goal was to see which one of us could match more of your movies that end up on the final list. Ours didn't have to be in order. We just had to get the most number of titles on there. So we'll do that in a second. So for now, let me just do a recap. We have Appetite for Love at number 10, One Winter Weekend at number 9, Matching Hearts at number 8, My Summer Prince at number 7, The Art of Us at number 6, Making Spirits Bright at number 5, One Winter Proposal at number 4, South Beach Love at number 3, Christmas in Homestead, played by Erinbeth, at number 2, and Falling for You is number 1. So before we get to your personal top 10 lists, Catherine, hit me with your list. What were the 10 titles on your list?
Lynn, has this been done before? I got 10 out of 10.
You got 10 out of 10?
I did. They're not in
Way
the same
to
order at
go.
all, but I got all 10.
I don't know. I don't know if I got 10 out of 10 on the
You got
on the
9. I was
draft or
tracking
not,
for
but I
you.
think you got it.
I
Yeah,
was
so
tracking
tell
for
us,
you, yeah.
what was the
Okay.
order?
So my number 10 is Matching Hearts, 2 beautiful people falling in love on screen. Nothing wrong with that. Falling for You is my number 9. I knew the Heinies would be happy when, as soon as Erinbeth pulled that number 2 out, I was like, we're gonna make the Heinies happy tonight. My Summer Prince is my number 8. South Beach Love is my number 7. Making Spirits Bright is my number 6. The Art of Us, number 5. Number 4, The Appetite for Love. Number 3, Christmas in Homestead. Number 2, One Winter Proposal. And number 1, One Winter Weekend.
Congratulations. That is 10 out of 10. I wasn't that far behind. I got
Yep.
9 out of 10. And I actually matched 9 with you too, Catherine, when we exchanged lists, but our lists were almost completely opposite in the ranking. So my number 10 was Making Spirits Bright. Number 9, The Art of Us. 8, One Winter Weekend. 7, am I the only one who threw a Ruby Herring movie onto a list? Yeah, you guys did? Okay, good. Can't wait to hear.
We should talk Ruby Herring next, yes.
Yeah, Prediction Murder. It's episode 3 in the series. Number 6, I put Matching Hearts at number 6. I have a very specific reason why I'll tell you about in a second. Number 5 is Falling for You. I could not have Ryan Pavey higher on a list than Tyler Hines. So that is why. Number 4, My Summer Prince. Number 3, Appetite for Love. Number 2, South Beach Love. I think Meredith and I could watch movies together anytime here. And number 1, of course, Christmas in Homestead. So I got 9 of the 10. So pretty much copacetic as hosts. That worked out really well. Let's go around and hear everyone's personal top 10 ranked list. I'll use the veto order. So let's start with Jessica. Can you tell us what your 10 were from 10th to 1st, please?
Yeah. So I have One Perfect Wedding is number 10. Matching Hearts is number 9. Christmas Festival of Ice, which we've not discussed, is number 8.
What did you like about that?
Let me scroll to where I talked
At the beginning, when I said there were 2 that didn't belong on this list, that's one of the 2. I'm sorry.
That's
No,
the
no,
ice
no, I
sculpting-
hear you.
that's the ice
It's
sculpting
just a numbers
contest.
thing. It's like I just like crunch my numbers, right?
Yeah.
I think it's probably because it was in the beginning of my homework of watching her movies, and so I was like, like. But honestly, yeah, I think if I were to watch it again, I wouldn't care for it. But for whatever reason, I think her haircut, I don't know, the family like grabbed me. But yeah, I'm not like attached to that. Like, I think that again, like it was in the beginning, and
Yeah.
some of those, like you watch a movie and there's the mood you have during the day when you watch a movie, right? So
Did you connect with
7.
her? I said, did you connect with her on the, quitting law to be an ice sculptor? Because,
I mean, I thought basically it's so like okay, so I have this one streak in me, and when like how it is where it's like something is like, oh, so bad it's good, right? And so also there's a whole thing of like there's absurd and then there's so absurd it just goes to like, y'all want to root for you,
Like Colorblind Christmas or whatever that one
Oh
was.
my god. I watched that over again with my nephew and his wife, because like we like do this, and it was just, it was like, and I was like, this is such a great movie.
It is great. It is so horrible that it's great. I mean,
Totally.
I would never be mad to watch that again. I know it's
colorblind movie, not the Festival of Ice movie.
No, yes, correct. The colorblind.
We all agree those are not in the same color.
Again, so Festival of Ice, I feel like that was probably one of those, like,
I get that.
my mood that night, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I
7,
totally-
South Beach Love. 6, Christmas in Homestead. 5, Making Spirits Bright. 4 Falling for You, which I feel like I would switch those at this point. 1 Winter Weekend, 2 My Summer Prince, and 1 was One Winter Proposal. One Winter Proposal to me is just it's just like 2 hours of heart flutters. And so that's what makes my heart happy about that movie. It's just like for 2 hours.
Wow, that's a
You
good.
might need
That's
to
a
ask
good
a doctor
list.
about that.
Yeah. Erinbeth, what was your top 10?
Okay, so 10 was One Winter Weekend, 9 Falling for Love, 8 Making Spirits Bright. So I wasn't playing a game with you, Jessica. I really did
Why do you have 8 so low?
I also have a rating system, and that's where it fell.
Fair. You and I need to have a conversation about our rating system.
7 is the Ruby Herring
It's
prediction.
going to be a long bramble
Murder.
fast.
I felt like Ruby Herring should be on the list, at least one. The third one is the best one. There's the whole golf scene where she's teaching him how to play golf. You know, we all love him. So, but she needed one Ruby Herring on the list. I'm sad we didn't get one. South Beach Love was my 6. The Art of Us was 5. My Summer Prince was 4. One Perfect Wedding was 3. One Winter Proposal 2. And Christmas in Homestead was 1. But like I said, had Meredith used Christmas in Homestead as her 3, and none of us could have vetoed it. Oddly enough, with all the conversation of Taylor and everything that's gone on, my number 13, Long Lost Christmas, would have ended up being my number 2. And because of her character, as we were talking through it, I thought that is one movie where she plays a different type of character. She's clumsy.
That's a terrible character.
Oh, I liked it.
Yeah, but like that bit where like she out of absolutely nowhere, just suddenly her ire goes up when he's like raising funds
there's
for that
that
one
part, but it was funny.
No, that okay. When I said
I
there's
actually would
2 that don't belong on this list, that's the other one. And her character is so pushy. Like all the conflict stemming from that movie could have been avoided if she just like took a breath and stopped being so like pushy and like meddling. Like,
Okay, yes. Oh my gosh.
So aren't we glad Meredith like Christmas in Homestead at 3?
yes,
Okay,
we are.
the whole thing was like, I love the army. What about you? Were you ever in the army? Like, you're so like, so clumsy.
Do you have any trauma?
I thought she played it cute.
I was adopted. Were you adopted?
Meredith, rescue us. Tell us what your top 10 is, please.
Yes. 10 was Appetite for Love. 9 was Ruby Herring, Prediction Murder. 8, don't judge me. 8 was Pumpkin Everything. Because I felt like it had real stakes. The old man was not relatable, but was like kind of realistic. There are people like that.
And Michael Ironside is a great actor. So
yeah.
Okay, Michael Ironside, because he can't be Wilford Brimley, because let's be honest, that's what they wanted, right? But he's dead.
Wow.
If you could take Kit out of that movie and it just been about her and her grandpa, that would have been a great movie. Absolutely. I mean,
I feel like that movie,
all the parts with her and her grandpa.
I feel like that movie had potential, but yeah.
Erinbeth showing some hot take on
severe weather warning.
Severe weather warning. Wow.
That movie had potential. There was a lot of potential there, but it just didn't quite go there. Also, okay, I'm sorry, Meredith. I just gotta say this right now. I don't know when I'm gonna get another chance. The woman who is like the cool old lady, that bugged the stuffing out of me.
Yeah, when she like, says rock on.
Dude, rock on, blah, blah, blah. Like, homie, you're such a boomer. Just stop. Just stop. Stop.
It was kind of like some like 30-year-olds were like, what would it be if old people tried to be cool? And it's very offensive. It's very ageist.
It was very ageist. What else is on your list, Meredith?
I'm ageist. I'm sorry. Go on.
Oh, no, you're fine. 7 was My Summer Prince. 6 was Matching Hearts. 5 was The Art of Us. 4 is One Winter Proposal. 3 is South Beach Love. 2 was Falling for You, and 1 was Christmas in Homestead.
Mm.
Great list. You know, as I said at the beginning of the show, there were 18 movies that were eligible that Taylor has made to date. So Erinbeth, you had mentioned Christmas Festival of Ice. Someone else just mentioned Long Lost Christmas, the one with Ben Ayers is in it. So those are 2 that we didn't even discuss. Pumpkin Everything, Meredith, you had that on your personal list, so that didn't come into play either. We have
Unlocking Christmas, we didn't talk about either.
thank goodness. So that's from 2020. It is with Steve Lund, you know, her buddy Steve Lund. It's their second one with him, actually. And so my reaction was when a mysterious key and holiday riddle arrive on their doorsteps, Kate and Kevin embark on a Christmas romance adventure they'll never forget. And I wrote, well, they might not forget it, but I instantly forgot it 5 minutes after watching it. Sorry.
I think the best part about this movie was the decor was very Christmassy. The old man who misses his wife, and then the
Sweet.
friendship wasn't like that special, but at least it was kind of realistic. Like, look, I built a crib, but kind of fell
I
flat.
think I was blinded by Steve Lund, and it ended up a little bit higher for me, but it's still down at the bottom. So
So there were 3, the only 3 that we didn't really talk about that also didn't get played on for real in the drafting list were the 3 Ruby Herring mystery movies: Silent Witness, the pilot, Her Last Breath, and the third one, Prediction Murder. So the first 2 in 2019, the last one was in 2020, and they all co-starred who?
Huzzah!
Wow.
So bummed we didn't get to say that.
I honestly think COVID took these down.
Mhm.
Because the last one was filmed before COVID happened. I think that COVID took that series down.
Yeah.
And they weren't able to come back to it, but because they were finding their footing.
The first two can we all agree that the first 2 are the same exact story?
They
Pretty
are-
much.
Yeah, but don't
I
worry, they
just-
changed
if
her
you saw
dad. Here's some trivia. The guy that played her dad in the first one is her stepdad in real life, ex-stepdad.
That was cool. Yeah.
That
was
is, I
cool.
didn't know that. That's interesting.
Isn't that
At
cool?
least by the third one, they got her hair right. Like it was actually her hair. It wasn't some ridiculous wig.
There are some harsh comments on IMDb about her hairstyles in the Ruby
Well,
series.
You know,
But you
they did
guys,
the
you
Laura
did an
Garden too.
awesome
this-
job. I'm going to read the list for the final time. Here are the top 10 Taylor Cole Hallmark movies as drafted by Erinbeth, Meredith, and Jessica. Here we go. At number 10, Appetite for Love. At 9, One Winter Weekend. At 8, Matching Hearts. At 7, My Summer Prince. At 6, The Art of Us. At 5, Making Spirits Bright. At 4, One Winter Proposal. At 3, South Beach Love. At 2, Christmas in Homestead is played by Erinbeth. At number 1 is Falling for You. Great job, you guys.
Yeah.
Can we
Really
just decide that
done.
number 2 is the end of the list?
I'll edit it out.
Could you have not
Behind
played
you-
it? I'd
behind
never
you-
played it.
I'll edit it out. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Let's say bye. Bye.
Farewell.
Christmas in South Beach Love. Adios.
Adios.
Hallmark Movie Drafts is produced by me, Lynn Austin, with additional creative and research support from Erinbeth Cermak and Catherine Baca. This show would not be possible without the dedicated and talented Deck the Hallmark podcast Double Deckers, who share their passionate opinions on these Hallmark movies that we love, or maybe not love, so much. Intro and outro music is courtesy of Amada Zapana. If you love this pod, please leave a 5-star review. It helps other Hallmark movie fans to find us and join in on the shenanigans. Be sure to follow the show at Hallmark Movie Drafts on Instagram.